What's going on, everybody? How you doing today? Welcome to another exciting episode of One-on-One Talk. It's your boy Pico the City Brown. How you doing? I want to say thank you, everybody, for listening to my show, listening to my podcast, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. However, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, feel free to go and hit the subscribe button. It don't cost nothing. It's free. You can follow me on YouTube at Pico the City Brown, One-on-One Talk, PTSD. Go to YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that follow button. Hit that like button. Go to TikTok. You can follow me also on TikTok too. It's real easy. Type my name at Pico City, hit the follow button. Ta-da, we friends on TikTok. But if you haven't done that, be sure to go over there and do that. So, a topic came to me. Well, actually, a topic didn't come to me today. I was sitting here thinking about the name we all grew to love and the name we all grew to hate. And the name of the topic today is, yes, you guessed it, cancel culture. What is it with cancel culture, and is it why is it even here? Is it worth something, or is a lot of people just got together and said, hey, we just gonna make a word. They ain't got nothing to do with nothing, and if we don't like what people say, we gonna cancel them out. But before I start the show, a small disclaimer. I'm sorry. This isn't to offend anybody. Cancel culture, this isn't to offend you, but sometimes it's just right to tell the truth about certain things, get people's different perspective on about how y'all go about doing things. So, cancel culture, to me, I think is all a bunch of crap, just to be honest with you, because people shouldn't have that much power to pretty much do what they want to do. If you say I'm not going to say if you say the wrong thing. If they think you say the wrong thing, they can you. That's with talk shows, that's with TV shows, that's pretty much anything. And they push their way into people's lives and they throw it on you like it's our way. We don't want to listen to your way, but we want y'all to listen to our way. So that's why it's hard. You have to actually walk on eggshells and pins and needles in a tightrope to pretty much get your point across, because the slightest thing you say, you can offend somebody. I mean, the slightest. And to be honest with you, I'm just going to be honest about it. I really don't think people are getting offended by this stuff. I think they just don't want people to say what's on their mind. You can say it. It don't bother me, but I'm going to make sure you don't say it again. So that's where everybody got all this blocking and this. You can ban somebody from all such and such, and Facebook give you so many warnings. If you say something like they taking the fun out of stuff, you can say something like, man, don't play me, man. We gon' throw hands, and they'll take it like, oh, that's offensive. Send them a warning or deactivate his page for a week or a month or something like that. We're human. Humans been talking like this since the dawn of time. But I will say this. They're pretty much taking the fun out of everything we do now. They want a perfect world, but they're not paying the price to live in a perfect world. Everything else you can pretty much say, and you won't get canceled for it until you start speaking the truth, until you start speaking about God or Jesus or this and that, or these people are actually bad and these people are actually better than the ones that's bad. You can't say that. But you can run around all day and talk about how cool homosexuality is, how cool the LGBTQ community is building up as a community and being one, or that's not hurting anybody. But guess what? How do they know they're not hurting anybody? But what you say can hurt somebody. How is that? Remember the show I had, I think it was a month ago or 2 months ago, I can't remember, but I was telling you guys about I think it was Mall of America, when a black guy was just walking around the mall, minding his business, and he had a shirt on that said Jesus Save, and the security guys told him, hey, you got to take that shirt off because you're offending people. How can Jesus offend anybody? If anything, we should be running closer to him instead of saying, you know what, by me, I don't celebrate Jesus or I don't worship Jesus, but what you saying to me with that shirt is offensive. Just mind your business. You worship him, you don't. Just go about your day. But you can see everybody walk around and demonic clothes, 6-point stars, and actually have devils and stuff on their shirt. Nobody says nothing. And make it so bad, the real church people, they go in malls just like everybody else. So they shop, they go to restaurants, they go to grocery stores, and they see a lot of demonic stuff. Don't nobody run and trick off and be like, you know what? I'm saved, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit. I go to church every Sunday. He had a shirt with 2 horns coming out. That offended me. We don't care, because it's what's in you that defies you. That's pretty much everywhere we go, man. So we can't run from this thing, but at the same time, they want you to they want to silence you on every good thing that you do. I mean, you can talk. Come on, let's just be honest about the thing. They took prayer out of church, but then again, a drag queen or a drag, whatever they call themselves, can go and teach your kids how to be a drag. But they took prayer out of church now. Prayer is gone. Well, I don't know if it's back now, but back in the days, they're like, no, we can't, no more prayers in church. But a cross-dresser can come in and teach anytime they want. So where's the equilibrium in that? If you should be able to teach about that, you should be able to teach kids how to pray. Same thing. But although they both can't exist in the same world, I'm just using those parables as an example. Now, just take a look at the world. So it's a lot of things you can't say. A lot of TV shows got to change their whole act and their whole episodes and seasons and stuff because it'll offend somebody. But walking around with a dress isn't offending anybody. What happened to the world, people? What happened? You know what happened? The American dream came true. That's what happened. This was always meant to be anyway. Do as I what had to go. Do as I say, not as I do. Do what I say. Don't do what I do, but do what I say you can do. You know, you got kids running around here, don't know what the hell they want to be. But society accepts that with open arms. Hey, you can be what you want to be. You want to be this, you want to be that, you want to be a straight, you want to be gay, you want to be a lesbian, you want to be non-binary, and I don't even know what the heck a non-binary is. That means you want to be a boy and a girl. Pick a side. Pick a side. You can't be greedy, man. You can't be greedy about it. So, but look at all of this stuff that's going on. And believe me when I say this, guys, there's a lot of people that's against this, but they can't say anything. They can't say nothing. Or guess what? Money's coming out there. I mean, money, they're going to lose money. So they have to go along with it. And I don't blame them because, hey, you got to feed your family. But one day, you have to stand fast. You have to be able, you got to hold yourself accountable for everything you do, especially if you're, quote unquote, saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Spirit. Should no way in God's green earth or the rest of the planets he put out there, you a church goer, and you say you have the love of God and the fear of God in your heart, and you get along with what the world do. That's all a part of cancel culture, because now it's in church. Church have to accept what people are doing now. But guess what? Nobody really wants to live for the Lord anymore. I don't care what man or woman say. I would never support none of that stuff. And it ain't even got to be homosexuality or nothing like that. Anything evil like that, I would never support it. Hey, take me to court, I don't care. But it goes to show you how soft the world is. When I was coming up, the world was not soft like this. You was able to have a heart-to-heart conversation with a man, with a woman, with a child, with well, it wasn't podcasts back then. They just call them interviews and all type of stuff. And people, you can take it the way you want to take it, but at the end of the day, guess what? You still had your dignity. But now you can't say anything. Oh man, Antonio Brown. I was on his show one day, and he told me to bro, you ain't got to do this, you ain't got to do that. How you know that's not what I want to do? Well, guess what? I'm your nephew. I know how you were when you was a child. We grew up together, but things change. Well, you know the teaching we had, bro. He offended me. So I'm gonna go rally up my troops and boycott or picket his show. And then guess what? They'll call him out and say, man, look, either you're going to change your show, leave these people alone, or we're going to shut you down. So what is he going to do? If his show is making thousands and thousands of dollars, he got to think now like, man, you know what? I got a family to feed. I got a family to feed. And that's how a lot of people think. Not saying that that's the good way to think, because if you are a so-called walker with God, God is going to lead you by faith. It's a lot of things. Okay, I'll put it to you this way. Cancel culture wouldn't have lasted in the biblical days. How about that? Because back in those days, Jesus wasn't the only one you had to worry about. I'm just going to be honest. He wasn't. A lot of that stuff back in those days, they wasn't going for it. They wasn't. Certain areas in the world, they wasn't going for it. But then they say, hey, you know what? Hey, you can't do this. You can't. This is cancel culture. You don't have a right to judge. And they all go to the same verse in the Bible. I think it's Matthew or Mark, one of them. Don't judge. But they don't read the other parts of the Bible when God said, judge righteously. So, yes, I can judge you on something that I'm not doing, and I see you going down the same path I was going. So I have a right to tell you, hey, don't do that. What you gonna say? God said don't judge. No, that's all a part of cancel culture, because they hate being wrong, but they love being right when they know they're wrong. That's why the world is in shambles, man. That's why people over here is going crazy. People over there is going crazy. White people going crazy. Black people going crazy, because the world is in shambles, because they're protected now. You can't say this about me, or you can't say that about me. How dare you? Next thing you know, you're done. Now remember when the LGBT, I don't know, LGBT first started. Remember when they first started? I'm not talking about them. I'm just giving an example. Remember how it first started? They was all in the closet. Fine. They said, hey, we want to come out of the closet. We want everybody to accept us. Fine. Okay. You're out. Everybody know what you are. Y'all had the parades and stuff, or y'all have the parades and stuff. Okay. Live your life. That's your thing. Do your thing. Remember, that's all we wanted, was to fit in. Okay, they fit in. Okay, but guess what comes with that? Remember Spider-Man and Uncle Ben? When Uncle Ben told Spider-Man, with great power comes what? Great responsibility. So now that passed. Then they said, hey, let's get on the bandwagon again and bring some more stuff out. Now look at all the stuff that's out. Okay, but enough about them. Let's go to the people that benefits cancer culture. Cancel culture, I say cancer. Council, look, you know what I'm talking about. Look at these guys, man. They pretty much run the world now. You can't get away with anything. They will pick at you so fast it'll make your head swim. And you'll wake up the next day and you go into your store or something, everything's barred up, and they put a slap an orange sticker, that bright orange or bright yellow sticker on your, what's your name, on your door. No, you offended somebody. And then it gets to the point where they make you apologize. Look what they did to Kyrie Irving. Come on, man, take a look at it. That boy went through hell in hot water with gasoline on his t-shirt. He commented on, or he put a movie on his page. He didn't write, he didn't produce, he didn't direct. Heck, he wasn't even in the movie. They gave him hell. He stood his ground, but he didn't stand strong enough, because he turned around and said, hey, I want to apologize. I'm quite sure they told him, bro, you don't apologize, you're done. Because it's all about making Big Brother happy now. That's what it's all about. Cancel culture. And it's in every culture. It's not just white culture. It's black culture too. We got a lot of idiots running around here too. A lot of them. You can't say this. You can't say that. And we stick up for each other. But everybody's jocking, but nobody's dissing. And I I hope you understand when I say that everybody's jocking, but nobody's dissing. That means everybody's jocking. Remember back in the days, it's like, man, you jocking on, you all own them? Yeah, but nobody's dissing that brother. Nobody's telling that brother the truth or telling that sister the truth, because we're all taught we're like sheep within the gates. All of us is in one big gate. And that's the way they look at us now. But best believe somebody somewhere is laughing at all of this. Like, hey, look, we got them too. Everything's offensive. You can't sit and talk to a woman about, hey, get yourself together. You get judged from God just like we get judged from God. You can't say that to a woman. How dare you say that? I'm a woman. See, the thing about being a woman is God don't care what the hell you are. He made us to serve him. That's the purpose of man. So if I come to you with facts and say, hey, you don't have to do this. Sister, you ain't got to twerk. You ain't got to dance on the pole. You ain't got to be Miss Independent all the time. And I turn around and say the same thing to a brother. Hey, you ain't got to be gang banging. You ain't got to be selling dope. You ain't got to be punching these women. You ain't got to be using these women for money. The only thing my people should come, when I'm talking like that, the only thing should be on this live is, Pico, you're right. Facts, bro. You right, we need this. But when I start talking stuff like this, somebody always get their feelings in the way. Whether you like it or not, I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you what the judge is going to tell you anyway. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. See, you can pull it with me. I mean, I can't do nothing about that. You can say, well, I ain't got to listen to you. I ain't got to do this. I'm going to do what I want to do. But guess what? Just as sure as my name's Pico, as we live on this earth, we have to leave this earth. None of us live forever. And the same being you told to kiss your butt, you got to deal with him. What you gonna tell him? Oh God, I didn't know you existed. Remember the theory I told you guys about believing in God? I'd rather believe in God than at the end of time, he's not there. Then don't believe in him, and at the end of time, he's real. What do you think he think about all this cancel culture stuff? Do you know cancel culture, if we look at it with a deeper perspective and a bigger lens, do you know that cancel culture is everything God fights against? Think about it. They don't want you to say nothing. They want you to get along with everything they do. But yet, the Father tell you not to get along with everything they do. But they said, remember when I told y'all this years ago, the trick was to always get God out the picture. And it worked. Right about now, black people don't believe in God. We just don't. Because we always got that saying, Jesus said he was coming back, but that's the stuff my grandmama said. That's the stuff my granddaddy said. They gone. He ain't came back yet. Well, I got a news flash for you people. Don't rush it. You better make sure your house is in order before you say he ain't coming back, or I can't wait till God come back. Yeah, I can wait. I can wait, because that's going to be a scary thing. And all these people that fight against him, where do you think they going? But if I say something like, hey, guess what? Murderers, homosexual people, gay people, binary people, lesbians, if y'all don't get yourself together, y'all got to burn in hell like everybody else. Then guess what happens? How dare you say that? You can't judge. We always forget these two cities, Sodom and Gomorrah. If he did that to them, cancel culture wasn't existed in. If he did that to them, what makes you think he won't do it to the ones in the world now? And remember, biblically speaking, we are worse off than our ancestors was. We're way worse than they are, because we go for anything. How you gonna go against the grain of what he say, and we go, and you know what the funny part is, we so quick to go off what man say, but we hate what the creator say. So everything cancel culture, when they trying to cancel stuff that's right and that's going to get your life together, and they say, no, we don't want that. No, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't judge. We don't want you talking about Jesus. We don't want you talking about God. Hey, you can't take that Jesus save like they did the brother in the mall in Milwaukee. Mall of America. I think that's what it was. Hey, you can't have that Jesus save shirt. You got to take that shirt off. You got to leave the mall, because what? He's like, why? What did I do? Some people got offended and they told the security guard he's got a Jesus Save shirt on. That shirt ain't never killed, ain't never undid, unalived anybody. But that's the world we live in today, people. That's the world we live in today. Either you get with the program or you become programless. So, look, I can't stress this enough. I can't stress this enough. I don't care if it's man, woman, wife, girlfriend, kids. I'm going to tell the truth. I don't care who feelings it hurt. I'm not here to care about anybody's feelings. I'm going to tell the truth because I know one day the end is coming. I'm smart enough to know that. Y'all should be smart enough to know that too. So that's why I don't partake with stupidness. If I see something wrong, I'm going to come at it. Whether you like it or not. And I'm not talking about you guys on here because I love you guys. But I'm just saying in general. What happened to the old days? Remember when kids were scared of their dads? When the mama would say, "What, you do it again? I'm going to tell your daddy on you." Boy, you freeze up like 40 going north. But now, dad ain't in the house no more. And there's two main reasons why fathers aren't in the home. One, because he had kids, he don't want to take care of them, so he left. Two, there's problems between her and him. Those are the two main reasons. But you don't have to be in the house to raise your kid. You can raise your kid up right, because guess what? If you don't raise your kids up right, the street's gonna raise them up for you. So I'd rather tell my kids, hey, don't do this, don't do that. Or get that phone call one day and say, hey, such and such just got into a fight. He's unalive now. Or he's out there hanging with the wrong crowd. Or she's out there hanging with the wrong crowd. Parents used to be parents. Now parents are just kid friends now. That's why you hear a lot of parents say, man, my daughter, we're best friends. No, guess what? God didn't put us on this earth to be BFFs with your kids. Because if you're BFF with your kids, you're going to let them slide with things. You're going to. I don't care what nobody say, because that's your friend. And then you're not judging. Yeah, you don't, Aisha. You're right. Then you're not judging with the rightful eye. You're judging like, hey, you know what? She's my daughter. Well, she's got to learn. No. No. The same things we got our butt whooped for should be the same thing your kids get their butt whooped for. You got these kids talking back to their mamas, talking back to their daddies, cussing their mamas out. I seen it on Facebook one day. The girl sat down and had a regular conversation with her mama, called all kind of bees and whores and everything under the sun. And guess what? The mama didn't make it no better, because she was going right back and forth with her. Where's the love in these families? Where? I would never, and anybody on this podcast, if y'all knew my parents, you know I would rather jump off a cliff without a parachute or with a book bag on like they did the cartoons, and I pull a string and knives and forks and plates come out, than to disrespect my parents. Oh, you couldn't pay me to do that. No. Pico, you ain't going outside today. Yeah, I'll be mad up here like, oh my God. But I ain't, man, come on, man. You blowing me, man. What? I won't even be here making this podcast. Y'all be going to my grave right about now. Yep, he would. Hey, who knows? He probably would have grew up to be a great guy. But see, once you on the right path, and can't nobody put nothing, no human can put another human on the right path if they don't want to change. That's where the Most High comes in at. And I know a lot of people say, hey, why you always got to use God or stuff? Because whether we like it or not, we have to give him the blessings and the praises, because if it wasn't for him, none of us would be here. None of us. So yeah, I'm going to put him in everything I freaking do. I might not be the world best saint, and I might not be able to teach a sermon, but I'm smart enough to know you don't play with the man. When he lay ground rules down, you obey his rules. Simple. But like I said, when God got out the picture, it's like everything just rushed in. Oh, God gone, rush him. The world just got rushed with all type of negativity and stupidity. Now, look at it now. You got men that feel they are woman, they can go inside of a woman's bathroom and use the restroom with the rest of the women. Where they do that at? It's all part of, if you think about it, it's all part of cancel culture because you can't say nothing about it. They'll cancel you out. Well, hey, I'm doing a podcast now. Wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I feel like wearing a dress. Put a dress on, put lipstick on, put earrings on, and throw a wig on, and walk downtown. Do you know how many people would tell me, you are so beautiful? You're a beautiful woman. But guess what? That's stroking my sinful ego. Thank you. Now I'm cocking a walk now. And if somebody come up and say, hey, brother, what are you doing? I'm not condemning you. I'm not putting you in hell. I'm not judging you, but you know better than that. And if I was somewhat smart, I would say, you know what? You're right. I know I'm not supposed to be doing this. And that's the tricky part about it. Cancel culture. They know they're not supposed to do it, but they got too much power behind them to say it's okay to do it. That's why they can shut people down. And it's not just in the hood. It's in Hollywood. It's in the legal offices, in the law. It's everywhere. So when we have kids, and the kids grow up, and they come into this so-called world we have, if it's bad now, what makes you think when your kids, if you have a fresh child, when they 18 and 19, it'll be like the year 2047 or 53 or something like that. They gonna be gone. They gonna be gone, man. But this is the stuff nobody wants to talk about. Nobody. If you're a God-fearing man or a God-fearing woman, there's no way in God's green earth you're supposed to support anything that has nothing to do with God. I'm a sinner, and I know that. That's just pretty self-explanatory. But guess what? Stuff is all in the churches. It's all in the churches. Because you can't say nothing anymore. It's shh. Big brother's listening. And if you say something, they're gonna call me and have one of the meetings. No. Because when it's all said and done, God gonna get the last call anyway. So if I'm telling you this, or somebody else tell you this ain't nothing nobody just making up. When you say, oh, you hate gay people. No, I don't hate anybody. I can't hate anything I didn't create. I can't create anything. Now you give me some putty, I might make a stick figure, but guess what? I can't make it move unless I put it on a string or dabble it or something or hold it around. I can't blow breath into it. I can give it veins. I can give it a heart. I can give it bones, but I have to structure it, but it won't move and it won't be real vein and bones and heart. I can't. So I can't judge you. I'm not here to judge anybody. But I will say, if the truth is in the world, I'm going to tell the truth. So whether we like it or not, I'm just trying to do everybody a favor because I know one day I won't be around to tell favors too, because all of us got to go. All of us. Every last one of us have to leave this earth, whether we like it or not. And when I'm gone, I can't do these shows anymore. When y'all gone, y'all can't listen to me anymore. So I got to get the point across. So, long story short, if the world is against me or anybody else that speaks with a positive tongue or against the Lord or try to block God out and bring all this cancel culture in, God way is the wrong way, all this other stuff is the right way, then guess what? I'm against the world. I'll stand in this boy by myself. All by myself. Because I need not help from nobody when it comes to that type of situation. I was born alone. 9 times out of 10, I'm going to die alone. Or unalive. I'm not going to say unalive because I'm not going to kill myself. 9 out of 10, I'm going to go on my own. Because ain't nobody finna say, wait, Pico, you finna do this? Wait, let me do it with you. No. Nope. You come in this world, you come in this world by yourself, you leave this world by yourself. Those are the rules. That's the law of man and woman. So we got to get it together. I'm just one voice. And imagine all the other voices that just can't say anything. Have it ever occurred to you guys or wondered why all this stuff is going on? Or are we just having our head under the blankets like, hey, as long as it don't bother me, I'm straight. But guess what? It's going to bother you because this is just part one. You got to go to part 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the parts till the Lord come and wipe it all out. So this is nothing. This ain't nothing. Let me tell you something my brother told me one day. We was down there talking. Me and my two brothers was down there talking. And he was like, man, we just shooting the breeze, having a convo. And he was like, there's all this bad stuff going on in the world, but it's way better than what you see because we don't see all the bad stuff that goes on in the world. Oh, it's rough out there, man. It's rough up. Me, you, children. Nobody's safe anymore. Everybody's a target. How many times you heard on the radio, on Facebook, or you ain't got to watch the news anymore because Facebook is news. Or if you do watch the news, somebody shot up a car and a 2-month-old baby was in the back seat and they unalived the baby too. How many times? Countless times. Remember, there was a time you didn't hear about that stuff. There was a time you didn't hear about that stuff. Guess what? It's here now. And it happens almost every day. Almost every day. Somebody leaving this world in a way they didn't think they were going to leave it. That's because nobody believes in God anymore. Nobody. Remember the story I told you guys about if Jesus was to come, no, I'm sorry, if God was to come back right now, and said, hey, I never did this before. This is an exclusive. It's only going to happen once. I came to judge the world, but I'm going to do y'all a favor. I'll be back in 2,000 years. Our time, not his time, because 2,000 years of him is like a day. I'll be back, no, I'll sweeten it. I'll be back in 500 years. Anybody, I'm going to take away all the sickness. I'm going to take away all of the pain. Nobody's going to pass this earth until I come back to judge. Now, when I come back in 500 years, those that believe in me can go with me. Those that don't, you know where you're going. I'll be back. And it's 90 billion people, I'm just saying, 90 billion people on this earth. And he said this in front of everybody. Do you still know everybody's not going to make it? Now, that's crazy. Now, guess what? That just X'd out the God don't exist because he came and he showed everybody he's here. So now all we can say is, dang, well, he did give us a second chance because I didn't believe in him. Now he's here. So now I believe in him. I just saw this thing come down and talk to us and fly back up. And he had a whole bunch of angels with him and they all went away. Okay, 500 years, bam, I'm going to get my life together. I'm going to do this. I'm believing him. Wait till that clock start ticking. Well, he ain't gonna mind if I do this. Or he ain't gonna mind if I do that. If I do it, I'm gonna go back and pray. If I do it, I'm gonna go back and pray. Then you're gonna stop praying. Then you're gonna get used to what you're doing. Now you're committing adultery again. Now you're sleeping with people's wives and husbands. Now you're out there unaliving people. And he comes back. 500 years is up. We forgot all about it. Boom, he come back on earth. Hey, I'm back to judge. All that I said was righteous, he just snaps his finger and all the righteous get on the left side. Snaps his finger again, all the unrighteous get on the right side. Do you know how long that unrighteous line gonna be? You probably have 700-800 people or 2,000 people in that good line. Think about it. Just think about it for a second. That's how what the world is. Now remember, these are the same people that say God isn't real because we don't see him. We don't have to serve him. We don't see wind, but we feel it. There's things in this world where we don't see, but it's there. Cancel culture. And I know I'm a bit up here right about now today when I'm talking about cancel culture, because a lot of people might not know what I'm talking about, but this was all part of the plan anyway. If you take a deeper stab at it, it all means the same thing. It was always to get the Lord out the picture. Always. That was the document from day one. If we can get these people to fall and believe that nobody can judge you for the things you do, and at the end of time you still go to heaven, but you can still do what you want to do, you're fine. That's why people walk around without no fear of God no more, because somebody bigger told them, you ain't got to fear God. He ain't coming back no way. Ain't no God. Why would you believe in something that you never seen? That's why so many parables and different documentaries and stuff like that about Jesus isn't real. What y'all really want him to come down and say, hey, I'm real? Why you gonna do that? He ain't gotta manifest himself. He will when time comes by. But if these people can get you to fall and take on their ways and say everything they do is good, and men wearing dresses and women is out of control and the brothers out of control and the women want to be men, why would you want to follow something like that? Why? That should ring off in anybody's head. Hey man, guess what? Yeah, something ain't right. Something's not right. Because when you do wrong, there's a lot of people gonna do wrong with you. But when you do right, you stand alone. So you gotta ask yourself, guys, why is that road, the party road, so full of everybody? But the road on the other side, the righteous road, you may find a straggler every once in a while. But the party machine is packed out. Because they threw the cancel culture in, and they say, hey, you can't judge us because people are comfortable doing what they want to do. That way you can't say anything about it. That's pretty much all it is. Look how many people on the bandwagon with this stuff. Look how many. It's the world. I ain't gonna even say half of the world. It's the whole world is in on this stuff. Everybody, all nations. And if it ain't got to the ones that's trying to do right, they're going to overthrow them too. Just think about it. Think about it. Because God is out the picture. God is like Elvis. He left the building. And if I was him, I would have left too. I ain't going to even lie to you. Because this is too much. It's getting too out of hand now. It's getting too out of hand. We're only human. We shouldn't have that much power to shut somebody down because my opinion is different from yours. Or I don't see the same perspective as you do. I can sit down right here and have a gay guy, or just a homosexual person on this show with me. We can sit up here and have a ball. We can talk about anything. We can shoot the breeze, talk about anything. I will not disrespect that woman or that, woman can be, you know what I mean? I wouldn't disrespect that person, none whatsoever. Because I'm taught to respect everybody. I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I know gay people. They're not messing with me. But I'm not going to stand for no crap. Same thing with a homosexual person. Same thing with a murderer. Same thing with a child molester. I got the script for everybody. That's just how I am. Because I can't partake. I'm going to just put it to you like this, guys. I'm already a sinner. Right? All of us are sinners. I'm not trying to put no more on my plate. I'm not. Because little that we know, when we get judged, he judges you for everything. Everything. Okay, Pico, you did this, but guess what? You went along with that guy. I told you, I ain't gonna say I told you, you knew better to tell him to get his life together, but he came with a sob story. He sucked you into his life, and now you're like, well, you know what, man? It is what it is. They ain't hurt nobody. Yes, those people they're hurting the world just like they're hurting everything else. But then again, when you in sin, it's like this. You don't see anything. But When somebody take your arm and move your hand and you see the world for what really is, it'll scare the hell out of you. My mom always told me something when she was here. God rest her soul. I was a young guy. I think I was in my 20s when she told me this. She said, you know what? She always told us, if you can see people, no, if God can put you in a deep sleep and you can see people for what they really are, you will go crazy. And I never understood. I'm like, Mom, that don't even make sense. You see people every day, but man, guess what? Pico had to grow up, and she was right. Because people will put up a facade on you. You know how many people walk this earth that say, oh man, we BFFs. And when you go your separate way, they talk about you behind your back, plotting and scheming to do you in. We see it all. And guess what? The signs are there, man. We see it all the time. We hear it on the news. Oh, such and such met this girl, or this girl met this guy, and she went over his house and she never came back out. Or he went to go visit a girl and they found him in an apartment unalive because, and guess what happened? They do the report and do all of the work, autopsy. Do all the work, and guess what happened? She set him up, or he set her up. Let's not forget the sister that just passed away when she went out there, was that Mexico, with her friends. They recorded them beating her up. She's not here anymore, but guess what? Those were her friends. In this world, especially in 2023, and I say this with the most utmost respect for everybody that's watching this show. In this world, you ain't got no friends. Everybody's against everybody now. Because if you had real friends, I mean real friends, whatever you say, they're going to make sure, even if they don't agree with you, it's going to be some point in time in their life where they should be able to back you up. Go outside, go to a club right now with your friends. I mean, go, just go, anyone, male, female, one man or woman, don't matter. After the club, and say, guess what? You know what? I don't think this is cool anymore. What you mean? I'm not finna keep going to these clubs looking for these guys. I'm not finna do that. I want to get my life together. Watch how fast that BFF turn to an enemy. Watch. Because they're not ready to give it up. They won't say it right away, but guess what? Them phone calls gonna come short. Man, why you don't call me no more? Oh, I'm busy. But she got a whole new batch of friends that do what she like to do. That's why women break apart from each other so much. Come on, man. 2 and 2 is 4. One woman around a whole bunch of women, they all wear mini skirts, going to club, twerking, doing whatever. One of them think about it, say, hey, you know what? I don't want to do this no more. They cut her off. Now somebody else got to take her place. Same thing with the brothers. Same thing. So you got to ask yourself, why is that? Why, when people come into knowledge and understanding and try to get their life together, the people that they rock with the most, they leave it to the wayside? That's because you outgrew them. And I'm not even talking about financially or a big job. No, you just outgrew them. You're thinking outside the box now. There you go, Angelica. They will leave. They will leave. Because like I just said, they're not finished doing their dirt. When you're done, that don't mean they're done. No. How would I look just standing in the house? It's Friday. I'm gonna go out and shake my butt, girl. See how many guys I can get. See how much money I can get out these dudes. Well, you know what, Lisa? I don't think that's a good idea. Stop messing with these dudes like that. One day somebody gonna catch on. You don't tell me what to do. But guess what? That BFF, that went just that fast. Because now she's carnal minded. You just know what to do. You can't tell me what to do. That's what everybody says. I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. I'm grown. You can't tell me what to do. It's like a tape recorder. Goes on and on. Hit the button. Stop the button. Hit the button. Stop the button. Hit the button. Stop the button. That's just how it is in the black community. Interesting, man. There's a saying. When you laugh, you know what? Actually, my dad used to say this. My dad was a very wise. Him and my mother, they were like this. They were married for all them years till the Lord took them away. That's what you call a strong man and a strong woman. And the people that's on here, y'all know my parents, you know what I'm talking about. He will always say, I got just one on this one. He would always say, let me tell you something, Pico. You ain't got no real friends. I'm like, Daddy, what you mean by that? Man, we hang out. He said, no, Pico, they got to grow up just like you grew up. And when you grow up, people have a tendency to stray away from each other, which is fine because that's just the way life is. But he said, I'm going to tell you this. Let me tell you something, son. He said, when you laugh, the whole world laughs with you. But when you cry alone. I was a kid when he told me that, and that messed me up back then. And I still think about it to this day. Thank the Lord I'm here. I'm 48 years old. That still plays a certain tune in my head. The man was right. I can't say, well, Dad, that don't mean nothing like that. You know what you talking about. Them days is over for you. You old. No, because that's why he's here. That's why he was my father and she was my mother. They've been through the stuff I was going through. Now, I'm going through it. I tell my kids. One day, they will have kids. It goes on and on. Oh, you want me to say it again? When you laugh, the whole world laughs with you. But when you cry alone. I can't take credit for that. Those were the words from my dad, the late, great Nelson Brown. The man was a genius. He was more than a preacher. If anybody know him, he was way more than a preacher. Oh yeah, my pops was a genius. But when he said that, that made me think of a lot of stuff. I was back, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was like 18 or 19. I was in my early teens when he told me this. That stuck with me back then till now. And all I can say is, guess what, Pops? You were right, man. You were absolutely right. You by yourself in this ball. Long story short, that means that, well, actually it does mean crying, but what he was saying, when you cry, when you plead out for help, and you need somebody to help you, or you're trying to help somebody, nobody wants to hear it. So that's what he was saying by that. Oh, when you laugh, when it's party time, everybody's, hey, we can all do the snake. We can all do this. We can all twerk. We can all do this. We can that. We can strippers on poles and guys out there selling drugs and